Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. You guys have been asking, and I've answered, and he's here. Jason Stewart, ladies and gentlemen.
My brother. Dude, you did these interviews for the fighters, and everybody was like, let's do it again. Let's get him again. I had because we last minute, we're like, we need to schedule something. Yeah. We got most of the fights locked in. We're pretty good. Let's schedule something somewhere. We had like 4 different options, and then I told Harvey, these are our options. And he's like, real deal, baby.
Real deal, baby. Let's go. Real deal, and I'd be nothing without my production guy.
Oh, Andy kills it.
Andy Cruz Productions.
Yes.
If you are in need of a production company, this guy does it all, and he's a God-fearing man, just the most amazing family man, just a super, super, super guy. All I do is talk, and he does it all. He basically makes me sound good, look good. Well, kind of look good. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I'm not happy with the color and whatnot. And anyway. So, anyway, hey, appreciate it, bro. It's an honor. Seriously, all jokes aside.
So, I didn't realize you had never been to an epic fighting event. And then when you came last time, I was so excited to see you. I saw you and your wife there.
Yeah.
And you guys were just lit up. And I was like, wait till you see this. And then every time I walked by, you were like looking at me like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's really cool. I always tell people, I don't do the hard sell. Yeah. I've got friends that have never been to epic fighting events. Yeah. They've just never been. It's so weird.
It's weird.
14 years they've never been.
That's bizarre.
I had a friend check me on that once. We were tight. We were business partners. And then he said one time, he's like, I would support you more if you came to my taco shop more often.
He said that?
And then, and I was just like, he was just kind of like giving a little hint. And then I started thinking about that. I was like, why don't I go more? I should be going out of my way to go to his taco shop because I'm going to some guy that I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if he's a great person or not. This is a guy I know I can vouch for. I know he's we've been in the trenches together. Why am I not going out of my way to go to his taco? And so I started thinking about that more and more. Yeah, so I do that with people's businesses and stuff. It's just like, I've always been pretty good at that through real estate. I found that instead of calling saying, you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house, I call and say, what are you working on that I could help with?
Right.
And the business just comes naturally after that, right? Like, wow, he really went out of his way to do that. And so, but yeah, there's friends that just, they don't come, they don't support, and that's okay. But most people have that same, I can't explain it to you.
Yeah.
I can't explain the energy and stuff like that. There's not really words that you can describe it with, but once you're there, it's like, this is what I was trying to convey.
Yeah.
And I met some new friends up in Tahoe that came for the first time. A lot of them I met for the first time in Tahoe. We had one mutual friend. But they were sitting right there next to you, actually. Yeah. And they were the same thing. Like, dude, I had no idea. I was like, remember when you were asking me about it? And I was like, you just kind of have to go. It's hard to explain. And now they're fans, and they're going to be supporting just like you support. So we really appreciate you. But how was your overall experience at the event?
So, Rachel and I, my wife and I have been together 23 years, right? And prior to the kids.
23 years?
23, dude.
Wow.
Prior to the kids, our daughter's 13. So we had a 10-year run we had a lot of fun. Not saying we've had even more fun with kids. It's more fulfilling. It's a whole nother level. But by fun, I mean, I'm talking bottle services, and we got down. Wifey and I, we got down, baby. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we had a lot of fun, bro. We get crazy. Rachel and I we're two crazy people. I ran the nightclubs in the 90s, so I love running a program. I call it the program, which is a bottle service, the VIP, the grease in the door guys. I know how to run that.
Okay. I
can run the city. I can fly to Vegas, get it done. My point is we love it. We love the nightlife. We love action. We love passion. We love intensity.
Right.
We just love having fun. And my build up here is what I'm talking about is that environment, bro, is freaking electric. You can't describe it. It's impossible. You're almost like, especially as a guy, you're almost on edge because you got fighters in the room. Most people they're a lot the majority of the guys that are in the crowd are either training, are fighters, you know what I'm saying, or love the fight game.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of be you got to be ready to go.
Yeah, I remember talking to my friend Keeley about that, and he was like, yeah, you don't see fights break out at MMA events too often.
No.
Boxing events you will.
Yeah.
And, other types of events you will. But MMA, people are kind of like, I don't know what the guy next to me knows.
Right.
Let me stay in line. But with a boxer, you'll get brave because even a street fighter could potentially knock out a boxer because it's like, that kind of lucky shot, the haymaker, it happens. And the boxer's probably not going to try to grab you and take you down and stuff. But you don't mess with those guys that know the clinch, that can throw a kick, that can take you to the ground and choke you out. It's just like,
And it's funny because my mind will go there and I think about stuff like that because my job, my number one role in my wife's life and my family's life is to keep them safe. I'm the protector, right?
Yeah.
It's my job. So I'm looking at all the exits and, I'm always for surveying the room of, okay, if the shit goes down, what am I going to do? Which way? Who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm looking around the room and I'm going, man, this is not an environment where you want to pick a fight with somebody.
No.
And if somebody picks a fight with you, you might want to be like, hey, listen, man, I'd rather not do this right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't know.
And we've been lucky, I think, out of, I think I've been to we've had our own, and then we've had a few that aren't numbered. So when you hear the number 57, 58, I've been fighting, there's been a few that weren't numbered as well. So we're well over 60 events that we've done.
Yep.
And I think there's maybe been 4 incidents where there was the last one, there was actually one. It was one of the fighters' girlfriends was super drunk.
Oh gosh.
And was trying to fight him and everybody else, but she was a petite little. It was one of those where it was like, do I grab her? Do I not? And but usually maybe something like that every 20 events. You know what I mean?
And I gotta say, man, the way that I was. Because I'm obsessed with details. I'm obsessed with production. I'm obsessed with the flow of things. I'm obsessed with the whole itinerary. I'm a flow guy. I master plan my family. I'm the master. I call myself the family entertainment coordinator. Everything's planned to the second, from the car service to the babysitter to the reservation. To this.
So you're that guy.
I'm that guy. Dang. So my point is, I was impressed with the show that you ran. Not that I didn't think, because you were on my podcast, but
I'm not that guy. Just so
well,
you know.
I was like,
I'm not that guy, but one thing that I've learned is typically we want to hire people like ourselves.
Correct.
So you probably want to hire people that are like boom, 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 just like you, everything in line. Yeah. But you probably need to hire the guy that's a little more, on a whim and visionary, whatever. And so I'm more the visionary, find a way or make a way. And then Harvey's he's a C personality.
Yes.
He's got all his ducks in a row. If I say, can you throw this photographer our logo? It's already done.
Done.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I have Kiko, who's a new COO, and she's very, very detail oriented. She's making these contracts and she's putting details in, and I was like, what was one of the she had this 3-paragraph details to contract to send the people who set up the cage.
Yeah.
And I was like, my contract would have been set up and break down the cage. Sign here. That's all I would have put. I couldn't have even thought of anything other than that. And there was just super, 3 paragraphs worth of stuff.
And so the entire night was just, and Harvey Castellano is in the house tonight. I mean, this guy, just a phenomenal guy. He's the matchmaker. He puts the fights together. Jason, the CEO, the announcer, the really tall guy. What was his name?
Kazi killed it. Yeah,
I loved him, dude.
That guy won what's it called, an ESPY? The guy won an ESPY award.
He was fantastic. I really liked. Is he doing this next one too? No. Okay.
Yeah.
I loved him. Anyway, my point is every aspect of what I saw that night. And
you're going to be excited when you see Carlos Kramer doing it.
He's going to be a 57?
Well, he's our usual announcer, but he's
at 57?
No, that's the thing is, he started with Epic, and then, of course, people saw him with Epic. People wanted him, so everybody wanted him for everything. And, of course, it's the Prince of Bahrain.
Yeah.
He has a promotion that he personally funds, and the guy has deep pockets, and so they do a real quality show, all different countries all around the world, every month.
Yeah.
And when he goes, if you're going somewhere like the Philippines or Bahrain or Dubai, you don't go for the weekend. You're going to stay a week or two.
Right.
So he's out of town a lot. So that's why you've seen less of him. But
yes,
for the longest time, he was at every show.
And he was on the podcast.
But I'm not going to tell him you need to be at my show when he gets to be in Dubai.
Right.
I'm like, go take your family to Dubai. Have some fun.
Yeah, I that's guy. But he was on the podcast.
Love
we did
that guy.
2 hours.
He's the one that connected us, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Now that you mention that,
because you told me to come on the podcast, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
How you got my info, but I was just excited to.
No, what
to
it was is
it.
I think he may have mentioned it, but then I always saw you.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
and I think maybe he was the final connection that actually connected us.
Yeah.
And then a podcast, and then the next thing you say, hey, do you want to do
Did you
something?
see me on social media? Or did
Yeah.
you see me at the church?
Social media.
Or, yeah? Okay.
Social media.
Okay, cool.
I think he said this guy.
Because I spoke at a Awakened Church.
You did?
Yeah, I've spoken there, I think, a couple times. They've had some events. I spoke with Drew Canoli on
Was
stage.
it for a Pathfinder event?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
That's not Pathfinders? Yeah. Wow.
And we put on an event for the church. Emerge.
Yes.
Yeah, we put on MMA fights for that.
Oh.
That was the most insane.
Yes.
That was the most insane energy because you got guys who have been doing macho guy stuff
Yes.
for days, tug of war.
Bro, I
capture
just
the
did
flag.
that.
You just did it?
Yes.
Yeah, so you had guys like in that state, testosterone through the roof,
Oh,
no
it's
women
only
there
men.
anywhere, and then one of their own was fighting.
I know what you're
and
talking about.
he was getting his butt kicked for the whole beginning of that fight. This dude was like,
Yep.
and he was a good fighter, but
I know
we're
what
like,
you're talking about.
dude, this is not the time for this guy to lose this fight. I mean, he's beat some good guys, but this guy was out wrestling him. And then he comes back with a knockout. And it was just symbolic of what that whole event, about everything they teach, whether it be in business or whether they teach about biblical stories or about applying the Bible to your life. It was just so symbolic that no matter what happens in your life, you never give up. You keep trying. And if God has your back, it's going to work in your favor. And then he comes back and knocks the guy out, and the place went insane. Insane. Like, that was one of the most energetic moments at any sporting event I've ever seen.
Wow. You're always one punch away or one opportunity away from the big one.
Yeah.
Keep striving. Keep moving forward. Never give up. You're one opportunity away.
Yeah.
Right?
That was great. I just reached out to some of the guys. And I was like, hey, let's get the fights back at Emerge. Why have we not
We
done
literally just had Emerge 2 weeks ago.
I know.
And I'm still sore.
Yeah?
Yeah, I competed in 26. I'm the 50-plus-year-old category. So there's a 50-plus category.
Yeah?
So because I'm the 50-plus-year-old guy, I compete in every event.
Really?
Yeah, so 2 weeks later, I still sore as hell.
Dang.
Yeah,
Like,
2 weeks.
what are some of the events? You got tug of war.
Pulling a truck, lifting a 100-pound weight, running with it. Football. We played one-on-one football against another guy. Go down the list. Oh yeah, the tire 800-pound tire flip.
Jeez.
Yeah, bro, it's no joke. A harness pull, so you get in a harness and you go the opposite way with a guy, and you have to pull him this way or this way.
You guys are doing crazy stuff.
Crazy, bro.
Your average fighter that's been on this show would be sore from that. So you imagine a bunch of guys who don't train like that
Absolutely.
for a living. You know?
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, getting back. Thoroughly impressed. My wife and I had such a good time, dude. The energy in there. You can't explain fight energy. It's an energy that's unlike any other event, fighting, because it just has this intensity and this palpable electric energy that you can't duplicate in any other type of event.
And I think it's amplified too because there's a good, for a lot of the fighters, there's a good percentage of the people that came there for that fighter or have some connection to them. Like if you train at a gym in San Diego, you know almost everyone that trains in, you typically know everyone that trains in your gym, so you're supporting them.
Right.
But then you also sometimes cross train a little bit, or some gyms are closed on Sunday while this gym has open mat on Sunday, so you go over there and then you meet so it's like a good percentage that know the people. So when you know them, there's that different connection. That's why these interviews are so great. Yeah. Because you get to know the fighter without ever meeting them.
That's right.
And now you want to go and see, like, okay, I want to see this guy win or lose. You're invested in it.
Yes.
And I think that's really sets it apart versus just going and seeing, like, okay, this guy versus this guy. I like that guy's look. I'm rooting for him versus, and I can relate to this guy's backstory.
And I fall into this, by the way, to your point. Like, I feel from doing these interviews, I feel connected to all of them.
Yeah.
So when I remember being at the fight, like, texting my mom, I'm talking to the Jersey guys. She's like, "Well, how's it going?" I said, "Well, I said I got 9 fighters tonight." Like I said, I have 9 fighters. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So how are your fighters doing? So I was claiming them now.
You're claiming them because you know them personally.
I got 9 fighters tonight.
And now you've got a lot of fighters that
like
fighting each other.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting because it's like you're rooting for both of them.
I'm torn, bro. Because at first I was all about Destiny.
Yeah.
She was so nice, so sweet.
So
I'm like,
sweet.
man, I can't wait to.
New to the sport.
This is my
Everyone
girl.
was scared of her after her first fight. Then they saw some vulnerability in her second fight. But I didn't see that one, but she was saying that, you know, she should have won it. A lot of people said
Yeah.
she should have won it. And then this little girl that just turned 18 comes in here.
Bro, and then I interview her
Super
opponent,
sweet. And you're
Abby.
like, yeah, Abby. That's what it. Yeah, she's just turned 18.
So nice.
Been training since she was a little kid, little
Oh,
prodigy.
Yeah.
But she's still only 18. Like, she's a kid.
I'm fascinated, though, because her experience level is huge.
Yeah.
So at first I thought, full transparency, I thought, like, whoever the other girl's fighting, whoever was Destiny, Destiny's fighting, the baller, right? Destiny baller. Whoever the baller's fighting, I was like, oh, man, I feel bad for this girl. But now after meeting the girl, I'm like, ooh, this girl's going to fight.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fight.
Yeah.
She ain't going to walk over this girl.
She's skilled. She's strong. Yeah.
There's no way.
I
And
think
then
it's
how
gonna be a
about the
good
guy?
fight.
How about Israel?
Israel, yeah.
And
Nicest
Trevon,
guy in the world.
nicest freaking guy.
But as soon as his hand touched that other guy, you saw something like, oh, okay, yeah.
And fighting for Jesus.
And he'd been through like
Bro.
a dozen countries
In
and had to go
dozen
to jail
jail.
every time he goes to a country because
How about-
technically you're illegal. You're like walking from country to country to country. He was naming countries. I was like, how did you get from?
Yeah.
Let me look at him.
Remember he said I actually walked here? I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Is he just
Yeah.
using he was
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah, he was in the Congo. He went to
Name it. Brazil,
Zambia,
Argentina.
Zimbabwe, South Africa, Brazil, Argentina, Peru.
And
Germany.
he was in prison in every place.
Yeah, he had to go to prison for a couple weeks every time.
And made his way
2 to
all
3
the way
weeks.
up, literally on the ground,
Yeah.
to Texas.
Yeah, he went through Mexico to get through Texas.
Yes.
Like, when you have a calling and a vision and you're so locked in and laser focused on your goal, that's why there's some people that won't fight because it's like it's the most minor inconvenience or it's like,
Yeah.
bro, there's fighters and then there's fighters. There's people that want to do it and then there's people that are gonna do it.
That are born-
And that's what I'm not just saying it with fighter, and that's okay. Like we have bucket list fighters. You know, bucket list fighters are people that, you know, they want to say they did it.
Right.
Cool, man. Get it in there. You know, get it and say you did it. And that's with anything though. You got people that
Anything.
they want to dabble, and
You're
then
right.
you got people that like I'm dedicating. I'm putting all the chips on the table.
Every ounce of my being
Yeah.
is going into this.
That was another level of every ounce though.
Bro.
Jeez.
Called
but look
by
who
God.
he's fighting. He's fighting Trayvon Lee, who, I mean, that guy, sweet guy, super nice guy. But I saw him fight a guy who was like a high level college wrestler, big guy. It seemed bigger and looked stronger than him. And he was in trouble. And then I'm looking at his face while he's on the ground, and his face is like this.
Chilling. Yeah.
Just chill,
chilling.
breathing through his nose, no panic at all. And he comes back and beats the guy. So, I mean, that guy's he's built for this, you know, and he's with one of the top camps, you know.
I'm fired up about this, bro. Like, I'm riled. I was already excited about this, but now that I've interviewed these guys and girls, I'm fired up.
I know.
I now have 12 fighters at night. How many fighters? I had 12 fighters.
Yeah.
But now I got opponents. I'm concerned.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
It's going to be fun, man. Thank you so much for doing this. And,
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, we got the crew now to get these
Yep.
out so people can
Oh,
see
yeah.
them. And
We're going
I
to hit
love
them, bro.
that.
We're going to hit them. And then, so Epic 57, the 24th, 8 p.m. to midnight, right?
Yeah, doors open at 7. Get there at 7. You
Yep.
are going to have to find parking. It does get packed.
This is at the same place, the 4
It's the
Points.
same place. Yeah, we've been doing it at that place for 14 years now. Yeah, man. And then you have the wellness center now.
Yes,
So
Real Deal
all
Wellness.
of the fighters watching, you know, if you come here in the interview, you get the I don't even know where to start. You got the laser, you got the halo
Yep,
therapy,
halo
which is like
therapy.
salt air.
Yep.
You've got the
Cryotherapy.
the sauna, the compression pants,
Yep.
the compression sleeves, which I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
existed. I did the pants a bunch of times. I love them.
That's
and then
specifically for grapplers.
then
So
you
the
got the-
grapplers, they need
yeah.
compression here.
And then you got the massage chairs,
Yep.
which do the whole body
Yep.
from feet to legs.
Yep.
Which I have one of those in my house. It's amazing. And you got beds.
I got
where
beds.
they can sleep elevated and
Yep.
everything.
Zero
Like,
gravity sleep
this is
system
great.
and red light therapy. So red light therapy, halo therapy, dry salt therapy that cleans out your lungs, by the way, to give you more lung volume, helps you breathe better. And then
love
the
it.
cryotherapy, the freezing cold chamber, is the coldest chamber in the city.
Come check out Real Deal Wellness.
Real Deal
you guys.
Wellness.
He's
Come
got
check it
all
out.
right here.
We got it. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
brother.
So I love it. I'm excited for this event. They always come together. You're
Yep.
always it's always a lot of work putting them together, and then sometimes you hit that point at some events where if the event is throwing you a lot of curveballs, and then if you have a lot of fires you're putting out just in life outside of the event, you start to ask yourself like, this is so much work.
Yeah.
You start to kind of question, is this worth it?
Yeah.
And so far, 100% of the time when we have the event, it's like, oh yeah, super worth it, super worth it. So I'm excited for that night to come and for everything to fall into place and to watch these guys in action. I'm super thrilled for it and super excited to see you there, brother.
And I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to watch these interviews come out because first round of interviews were fantastic, but I think these interviews were even better. I do. I think we got some crazy gold out of these. Like there's some stories that were shared, prison time, killing people, not actually killing people, but that's the plan for the fight is killing. I didn't mean to. We didn't have murderers on today. We didn't have murders.
That one guy rolled with a few.
Yeah, he did.
Romeo.
Yeah, pay it.
Can't wait to see
Oh
that
man,
character.
dude,
He's a
Romeo.
character.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ladies and
Prison,
gentlemen,
yeah.
watch these interviews and watch them all in like the entirety of them.
Absolutely. The fights are all ages event. There's parking on site. If you're going to be drinking, Uber there, definitely. You can get
And you've got a bar on site, right?
full bar there.
Oh, yeah.
For those
Yeah.
who want to drink, it's a full
Come
bar.
on.
Get a hotel room there or Uber home if you're going to drink. And doors open at 7, fights start at 8. We're going to have lots of merchandise and apparel for you guys to get, some really cool stuff. And, go support our fighters. Check out what they're doing. Venmo them a 20 if you like what they're doing. Maybe if you got a company or something that you want them to get some shout outs on their Instagram, show them some love. They can, it's literally, it seems so small, but if you sponsor them with some meals or a meal prep or sponsor their physical for $100 or sponsor the wellness, like where they get to use some cryotherapy or something like that. For one, it's very heartening for them. It makes them feel really good.
Oh yeah.
And two, like you'd be surprised for some of these fighters make good money and they got good jobs and they got their own businesses. And you got to remember, how many 18-year-olds did we have? How many 21-year-olds do we have?
A few.
How much money did you have? If you had to go spend $300 on some blood work and a physical, it's a lot for you.
It's a lot.
So, if you hook them up with a little something that's maybe nothing for us, but for them, it makes them feel really good. It makes them feel special.
Yeah,
makes a
it
big
really
difference.
does.
Yeah.
Like why they're doing this.
Yeah.
Let's say that's the next. You get a sponsor, any sponsor at all, any teeny tiny sponsor. It's a big deal.
Word.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they'll be so appreciative. They'll shout you out on their socials.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you're a bigger company that's successful and you want a big presence in San Diego, you can sponsor the whole event. You can get your
Like
logo on the
Bada
cage
Fulkerson.
and all the Bada Fulkerson,
Fulkerson.
like At Your Service Construction and White Feather Investments and Abassi Bell Bonds, and all those guys are the big dogs, and they sit with the big dogs, and Malad with Lone Goat, and they're all up there, and they're doing the big dog stuff. And we put their logo on everything and do whatever we can to send them as much business as possible. So if your business is already killing it, then you can get in that way too and get on all the shirts and jackets and all that.
Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family.
That's right. Come on now. Epic Fighting 57. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you, brother.
All right. Love you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
See you guys there. EpicFighting.com. Watch the pay-per-view and watch the live event.
Is that where you get the tickets, by the way? Epic Fighting?
EpicFighting.com. Yeah, you can order the pay-per-view and get the tickets there.
Okay, cool. All right. That's a wrap. Real Deal Talk.
And buy
Epic
the
Fighting.
merch.
Jason Stewart. Let's go.